video that you commented on, I had it looping because I liked the song and I was getting ready for the day. And I was in my head going, I really need to make a video on teaching people how to do this without using, like, people like me who don't use spiritual sight and it's just black. And then I look at my phone. That's what you commented. Okay, so this is what I do. I'm going to walk you through it. And if it has to be multi-parts, then it has to be multi-parts. But here's the first part, okay? For me, it's about, it's black when I close my eyes. So I focus on depth, perception of space, like feeling. One example that I use is if you were to walk into your bedroom and it's pitch black and you know where your bed is and you know where the dresser is and stuff like that, but you can't see it. You just remember that it's there and you kind of feel around in the dark. So an exercise for depth perception, the room that you're in right now, whether it's an office space, your bedroom, your car, whatever, I want you to close your eyes and feel where the window is. Is it beside you? Is it to the other side of you? Is it in front of you? Is it behind you? Can you feel the difference of it being a thinner spot than the walls? Can you feel the light coming in? If you're at nighttime when you see this video, it's going to be a little bit different. Maybe turn on a lamp and focus on that light. You can kind of tell where the light is. Actually, you can very much tell where the light is and the difference of energy. Now, for the daytime kind of thing, if you were to go look out that window and see a tree, now say this: Spirit, if it's in my highest good, please take me to that tree. And you're going to go to the tree. You're going to feel your energy move. Some of you might not feel, but you're going to feel your energy move towards the tree. Where is the tree? Is the tree in front of you? Is it beside you? Is it behind you? What does the bark feel like? What is the ground like around that tree? What are the surrounding things around that tree? Is there a fence? Is there a building? Imagine yourself walking to the fence and what that fence feels like. And then imagine yourself going to the building and looking up at the building. Do you know approximately how far back your head would tilt to see the top of that building? What does the building feel like? You were astral projecting, you were going into these lives, you're going to that tree. Your energy body is at that tree, at the fence, at the building. Once you have the concept of that, say, Spirit, please bring me back to my current vessel. And you feel yourself settle in. When you ask to see a past life, use those same skill sets. It's going to be based off of things that you already know and have experienced, especially because it's a past life, because you've already been there, and all time is now. So you're there now. I hope this helps. Bye! You know that phrase that says you are the center of your own universe? Well, you actually have pretty much a universe that runs inside of you. Whenever anybody thinks of their Akashic library, or they think of their astral pathways, or the dream realm, or their nightmare realm, they think of these really far away places when really they're kind of like pocket portals inside of yourself and pocket dimensions. Like you have your mental space room, you have a heart center room, you have a sexual boiler room, you have a sensory knob room. You say, Spirit, please take me to my sensory knob room. And you'll actually feel yourself, if you're a feeler, some of you might see yourself go into a room. Your knob room has probably not had maintenance on it since the last time you remembered it existed, and we all had amnesia, so it probably needs some cleaning up. You can say, Spirit, please put my knobs back to their divine balance working order. Please put my circuitry back to its balanced divine working order. I'll put some more on the screen. So this question is linked to a video where I'm explaining that my healings are set up like an F3 key. So to go into that real quickly, if you were to set a program in your computer up to one of the F3, F4, F5, the F keys on your computer, it's like setting a clock on your microwave too. Like you push the key, you perform the action on the computer, and then you set it up to link to that key so that every time you hit that key, that action happens on your computer. Well, when I do my healings, I spend 30 minutes to 16 hours completing the spiritual surgery, removing the things, changing the molecular structure. It's like quantum healing. It's soul fragments and then like a mending of nerves and bones. Here's an example of it. Spirit, if it's in my highest good, please allow me access to cat's nerve damage and bone repair healing. So when I do this, there's no intellect set to the program. It is literally my soul comes over, it does the nerve damage and the bone repair that is needed. And you'll feel it in your body, even if you had a bone you broke when you were in like 3rd grade. But that's what front-end work and back-end work is. Front-end work is the healings. Back-end work is the trauma involved with what you were going through when you broke that bone, when your nerves got tangled up. Also, PS on that one, you're going to feel a lot in the nerve damage because that phrase, people get on my last nerve, it's there for a fucking reason. That shit's heavy and it weighs on your nerves. So you're going to feel something with that one. I'm just saying. And I straighten out the nerves like spaghetti noodles. When I'm working, now to answer this question, when I'm working with someone one-on-one, I energetically feel what they are going through. Hell, even if Kate's working on an airplane, my body becomes the airplane and I can feel she's working on the back and the left. My body becomes it, I feel it. So when tons of people are accessing my matrix cord, fear cord removal healing, that one gets a lot of traction. It's linked in my link tree. You can like click it and just, it's right there. And it walks you through how to do it yourself. Or if you say a phrase, my soul comes over and removes yours for you. When people access that one by the hundreds, I will feel pressure in the back of my head because I feel it being removed over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And with that much, I'll be able to feel it. Sometimes when you see me go live, when I'm walking a bunch of people through a healing, I will get physically nauseous. I will want to throw up. And that's not even being merged in with them. That's just being in the vicinity of the healing. I can feel it going through me, and it can be intense sometimes. But for the most part, no, I don't feel it. I think I covered everything. Okay, bye. Okay, I went into this a little bit in the comments, but everybody seems to like this question. It's something that happens to a lot of people. For me, I've been doing the things for so long that it just like we do the things and then it shows up in physical world, in the news, in science, and we're just like la-di-da-di. La-di-da-di, we likes to party. We don't bother nobody with. Sorry. I have a lot of things to help with this. Like basically if you, so here's the steps I take personally. What was that? You all right, bro? You need help?
I want the baby.
So before I take divination, before I go into anything, before I go into any spiritual thing, do past lives, inner child, or whatever, here's the simple steps that I take. For me, it is simple. So I'm going to write those out here on the screen. It just literally puts it in perspective to where you can, like, use your discernment in a healthier way. Also, I always say stuff like, if it's in the highest good, and also, if it's not in the highest good, please undo. And then, you know, I'm really in touch with my spiritual feeling abilities because I do it all day, every day. All day, all long. I think one of your guides talks to you in song, damn it, because Jesus. But yeah, I have real life confirmations all the time. Basically, your imagination is actually just your intuition. One of my friends, Jennifer, also commented on this, and they said something that is really, really, really big for them is they kind of just like... So Jenny from the cul-de-sac, my boo, she says, if I'm thinking of something on purpose, I say that's my imagination. If it's random or completely different than my thoughts, it's a message. Even if I'm thinking things on purpose, I am tuning into some sort of dimension. I do believe that Jenny from the cul-de-sac is as well. But it's might be something that's already been healed, which is interesting because there's like multiple timelines, there's multiverses. So you can be thinking of something and using your imagination. You could be creating a reality or tuning into a reality that has been changed. There's an example of this. So I had a fantasy, like my dream job for the longest fucking time was to be a one of the secretaries in like the 1940s, 1950s that has like the line down the back of their stockings and like buys gifts for their bosses, like wives and girlfriends, and knows all of the clients' drink orders on the cart. That was like my dream job. Well, in the 1920s, I was a prostitute in New York City. And when I found that out, I was disappointed. I was like, but that's always been my dream job. Well, now that I've healed that life, I'm now a secretary in New York City. I explain more on that in my series on YouTube, Miracles and Why We Heal Trauma. Okay, bye! Oh my gosh, I used to do this in my sessions. Okay, so for clarification, if you're just running across this, I don't have spiritual sight. I am a spiritual feeler. So when I astral project to London, or I astral project to a different planet, or outer space, whatever, wherever I go, this is how I honed in on my skill really well. And you can do this with a friend, preferably with consent. You know, you do you, boo, you do whatever the fuck you want. I personally have the person knowing that I'm doing it. That's just how I roll. But on my sessions, since I did this day in and day out, like all the time, this was part of the session, I got really, really good at this gift because I got lots of clarity, lots of people saying, yep, that's what it is. Yep, you're not making it up. Yep, that's what it is. Okay, so I'm going to look kind of funny in this. Where can I put the camera? Okay, so I would say, take me to so-and-so's house. And then I would go there and I'd make sure that I always go in the front door. So I'd go in the front door and I would be like this. This is how I feel. Some people do it differently. But I'd have my eyes closed and I'd start feeling the air in their house. And then if my elbow started to rise, I'd be like, okay, there's a hallway here or a closet here, a hallway here or a closet here. So I would feel like this. And then I would start walking. I'm like, is there stairs slightly to the left and in front? And they'd be like, yeah. And then when I was going up the stairs, my hands would start going like this. And I was like, oh, that's what going upstairs means. It was like my fucking body was, and my soul was playing charades with me. Okay, so I'd walk around and I'd be like, this room feels kind of weird. Is this the kitchen? And I just did this recently to my boyfriend, Ben. I was like, oh, I'm going to do what I used to do. I'm going to go to your house. So I went to his house. And as soon as I walked in the front door, I was like, I went like this. And I was like, is there a hallway to the left? And he's like, yeah. I was like, directly when you walk in the door? He said, yeah. And so I went to the left. And then I was like, are you down this hallway? And he's like, yes, my room's down here. And then I was like, I want to go in this door. Like, my body would turn. And I'd be like, I want to go in this door. And it was his room. And I went to, like, his bed where he was. And he could feel me standing there. I remember one time in a session, I think the first time I tried it, I walked in the front door and I was like, there's a lot of fucking heavy energy in this closet right here. And they were like, yeah, my boyfriend has quit drinking, but he used to collect alcohol bottles. He had a collection of them. And I'm like, oh, how long has he quit drinking? And she's like, a couple of months. And I was like, why hasn't he, what's he going to do with those? And she's like, oh, he wants to get rid of them. It makes him feel really sad, but he can't clean out that closet. And I said, oh, Spirit, if it's in my highest good, please release and return all soul fragments connected to everything in that closet, wrap it in love, light, and forgiveness and divine justice, and return it to its rightful owners. The energy left, and without her even telling him, he came home and cleaned out the closet that day. But yeah, give it a try. That's what I did. Okay, bye! Hey, so I have a TikTok playlist. It's called Healing Your Current. It's located here. It's on the playlist tabs above my videos, underneath my bio. It's made more for steps of people to go back on their timeline and heal the things, but you can use that with your child really, really, really easily. I actually walk my kids through stuff like this all the time. Even my 2-year-old, I energetically feel when they're cleaning stuff out. So my friend Kate got me a Roomba, and the robot scared my 3-year-old. Did I say 2-year-old? My 3-year-old. That was weird. So she was freaking out and she was scared. And I was like, hey, I want you to go to the life with the robots. And then I felt her go. And I said, okay, now apply your house cleanse. Now activate your divine shielding and guardians. Now activate your divine, I did all the steps and she was able to follow along. This playlist in that tab. This one's pretty simple. I recommend my playlist, Younger You, Open Gifts. Hey, apologies, Younger You, Control Gifts. Found on my TikTok playlist above my videos, underneath my bio. Check it out. I think it'll help. Okay, bye. If they have that ability of sight or intuition or feeling or whatever, absolutely. Absolutely. And you start to differentiate and use discernment between what is a spirit, what is an entity, and what is another person, all up in your business and your space. More information on how to protect you and your space is found in my healing folder here on TikTok. Spirit, if it's in my highest good, please allow my soul to fragment out to do the work it needs while allowing my human to remain human and get the rest it needs. I'll add more. Just cause. Okay, bye.
Watch this. Now you have to imagine it with 2 people. It's swell with 2 people.